Here's what's really happening in today's markets, and some of these moves might shock you. The trading floor is buzzing with activity today, August 25th, and frankly, some of these corporate developments are raising more questions than they're answering. Let's dive into the market-moving news that every investor needs to understand before the opening bell. Somany Ceramics is breathing a sigh of relief as their Kassar facility in Bahadurgarh, Haryana, has started production again. The plant had been forced offline due to natural gas supply disruptions, but operations have now partially restarted. For those unfamiliar, natural gas supply issues can cripple manufacturing operations overnight, a reminder of how fragile supply chains really are. Crompton Greaves Consumer Electricals is making waves with their latest product launch. They've unveiled the Toro 24, a new mass premium induction cooktop targeting domestic consumers. But here's where it gets interesting. The timing of this launch raises questions about whether they're anticipating a surge in home cooking trends or responding to competitive pressure. IDFC First Bank just announced a significant leadership shakeup. Naarayan has stepped down from his role as Chief Marketing Officer. Leadership changes at this level often signal strategic pivots that aren't immediately apparent to outside observers. Brigade Enterprises is playing a double game today. First, they've secured a long-term lease agreement for a substantial 7-acre plot on Chennai's Old Mahabalipuram Road, a prime real estate location. Simultaneously, they're experiencing executive musical chairs, with Giant B. Manmadkar resigning as CFO and Pradumna Krishna Kumar stepping into the role. CFO changes during major real estate deals? That's worth watching closely. CEAT's subsidiary, CEAT OHT Lanka, just inked a massive $171 million investment agreement with Sri Lanka's Board of Investment. This represents one of the largest Indian manufacturing investments in Sri Lankan history. The question is, are they getting ahead of a trend or taking on unnecessary risk in a volatile region? Patanjali Foods shareholders have given the green light to issue bonus shares. For beginners, bonus shares are additional shares given to existing shareholders at no extra cost, essentially splitting the pie into more pieces without changing its total value. RM Drip and Sprinkler Systems approved a dramatic 10-for-1 stock split. Every existing share worth 10 rupees will become 10 new shares worth 1 rupees. Stock splits often make shares more accessible to retail investors, but they can also signal management's confidence in future growth. SJVN celebrated a milestone as Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually inaugurated the first 660-megawatt unit of the 1320-megawatt unit Buxar thermal power project in Bihar. Government backing at this level suggests strategic importance beyond mere power generation. GMR Power and Urban's board approved raising up to Rs 3,000 crore through various securities, including equity shares and non-convertible debentures. That's serious money, and it raises questions about their capital requirements and growth ambitions. Signpost India struck gold with exclusive advertising rights for all 67 key metro stations operated by BMRCL. The deal's revenue potential ranges from Rs 600 to 700 crore. And this is the part most people miss. Metro advertising rights are becoming increasingly valuable as urban populations swell. Borosil Renewables faces a complication as their German arm, GmbH Glasmanufaktur Brandenburg, filed for insolvency. This has delayed their financial results submission, creating uncertainty around their consolidated performance. Bajaj Auto announced that Chetak electric scooter supplies have resumed across all dealerships. They've successfully navigated the global rare earth magnet shortage that had constrained production. Supply chain resilience is becoming a key competitive advantage. Repco Home Finance approved raising 1,500 crore through NCDs and 1,000 crore via commercial paper through private placement. That's 2,500 crore in total funding, suggesting either ambitious expansion plans or refinancing needs. MedPlus Health subsidiary, Octaval Health Solutions received a 4-day drug license suspension for one of its Telangana stores. Regulatory compliance issues in healthcare retail can have cascading effects on operations and reputation. J&K India secured what they're calling a significant order worth 0 to 50 crore from J&K Global. The wide range suggests either confidentiality constraints or uncertain project scope. Kingfa's board approved a preferential issue of up to 14.41 lakh equity shares at 3,470 per share to non-promoter investors, targeting approximately 500 crore in funding. Preferential issues to non-promoters often indicate strategic partnerships or institutional backing. Varrock Engineering issued rupees 50 crore worth of commercial paper. For those new to finance, commercial paper is short-term unsecured debt that companies use for immediate funding needs. Foseco India is acquiring a 75% stake in Morganite Crucible India to strengthen their foundry business. Strategic acquisitions in niche industrial sectors often fly under the radar, but can be highly profitable. PNB Housing Finance received board authorization to offer non-convertible debentures worth up to 10,000 crore on a private placement basis. That's substantial capital raising capability in the housing finance sector. Prime Focus issued important clarifications about their recent preferential issue. The actual equity shares to be issued total 46 crore, slightly below shareholder-approved maximum. And they corrected a valuation report error. The correct price per share is Rs 329.31, not Rs 338.55. Valuation errors, even small ones, can significantly impact investor decisions. Star Cement's subsidiary, Star Cement Northeast, became the preferred bidder for a limestone mining lease in Jaisalmer, Rajasthan. Securing raw material sources is crucial for cement companies, especially in strategic locations. Sri Adhikari Brothers Television completely divested their 35.68% stake in subsidiary Westwind Realtors to Sri Adhikari Brothers Assets Holding. WRPL is no longer a subsidiary, which simplifies the corporate structure but raises questions about strategic focus. Zodiac Energy acquired a majority stake and partnership in Dwarkish Solar Projects LLP, expanding their renewable energy footprint. Insolation Energy incorporated a new subsidiary, MGPG Green Infra, likely targeting green energy projects. Deccan Gold Mines announced that Hanuma Prasad Modali resigned as managing director of their associate company, another leadership transition worth monitoring. SPML Infra received approval for voluntary delisting from Calcutta Stock Exchange, effective today. Voluntary delistings often indicate a desire to reduce regulatory compliance costs or simplify operations. Johnson Controls Hitachi Air is changing its name to Bosch Home Comfort India, reflecting brand consolidation in the HVAC sector. Mahanagar Gas announced that Sanjay Shende ceased to be deputy managing director, another executive departure in the energy sector. Wellspun Corp sold their remaining 6.1% equity in Naarayan Shipyard to Reliance's arm Naarayan Tradings for 45.32 crore, completely exiting the shipyard business. Samvardhana Motherson International incorporated Motherson Eggtronics Electronic Solutions, expanding their electronics capabilities. Imagica World Entertainment approved acquiring 100% equity in Malpani Parks Ahmedabad, consolidating their entertainment portfolio. But here's where it gets controversial. JSW Steel faces a massive 4,147.69 crore demand notice from the Odisha government related to their Jajang iron ore block, where they ceased mining in December 2024. They're seeking legal remedies, but such large government demands often signal deeper regulatory disputes. NTPC Green Energy declared commercial operations for a 50-megawatt solar project by Ayana Renewable Power in Bhuj, adding to India's renewable capacity. Axis Cades Tech experienced leadership restructuring, with Alfonso Martinez Fernandez resigning as Managing Director and CEO. Though he'll head International Business Global Operations and become MD and CEO of Axis Cades GmbH. Bazaar Style expanded with a new Express Bazaar store in Pandua, West Bengal, continuing their retail footprint growth. TTK Prestige faced operational disruption at their Uttarakhand manufacturing facility due to heavy rain and flooding. They've partially resumed production and expect normal operations by August 25th, with asset damage assessment ongoing. Weather-related disruptions are becoming increasingly common, raising questions about climate adaptation strategies. Acme Solar Holdings Board will meet on August 27th to discuss equity fundraising, signaling potential expansion plans. Yes Bank received significant news as SMBC got RBI approval to acquire up to 24.99% stake, valid for 1 year. Importantly, RBI clarified that SMBC won't become a promoter, maintaining the bank's ownership structure. Brigade Enterprises launched a Bengaluru residential project with over Rs 950 crore revenue potential, demonstrating confidence in the real estate market. Crore India received cumulative tax relief worth 27.8 crore, providing financial breathing room. InterArc Building secured a 90 crore order from Rungta Mines for pre-engineered steel building systems, indicating robust industrial construction demand. CG Power received a stay order on 468 crore tax demand, providing temporary relief from regulatory pressure. JSW Infra appointed J. Nagarajan as CFO, effective September 1st. Continuing the executive shuffle trend, Orient Electric received a 51.6 crore demand order, including penalty, from Tamil Nadu tax authorities, adding to regulatory compliance costs. Ethos incorporated Micron Watch Services, expanding their luxury watch ecosystem. MedPlus Health subsidiary received another drug license suspension order for stores in Maharashtra, indicating ongoing regulatory challenges. Balmer Lorry appointed Roman Sebastian Louis as whole-time director and additional director, strengthening their leadership team. Reliance Power saw Reliance Capital seeking reclassification as a public shareholder following resolution plan implementation. FIAM Industries reported a fire incident at their Alwar Unit 8. Fortunately, no injuries or fatalities occurred, and they've initiated insurance claims while working to resume operations quickly. IDBI Bank received SEBI approval for LIC's reclassification as a public shareholder. LIC's voting rights don't exceed 10% of total effective voting rights, won't exercise control, gets no special rights, and must reduce residual stake to 15% within 2 years post-disinvestment. Reliance Communications faced serious allegations as Bank of India classified loan accounts of the company, promoter Anil Ambani, and Manjari Ashok Kakkar as fraud. They also classified accounts of subsidiary Reliance Telecom and former director Grace Thomas as fraud. This is explosive news that could have far-reaching consequences. Adani Enterprises subsidiary Mundra Synergy incorporated wholly-owned subsidiary CG Syngas Chemicals, expanding their chemical processing capabilities. Electronics Mart sold 4 IQ retail stores in Telangana and Andhra Pradesh to Angel Teletech for 8 crore. These stores handled Apple product retail sales under the IQ brand. Railtel Corp secured a 13.2 crore order from Rajasthan Skill and Livelihoods Development Corp for PMC work, demonstrating government sector demand. Coal India signed an agreement with Madhya Pradesh government for critical minerals, potentially securing strategic resource access. Reliance Infrastructure and Reliance Power clarified that Bank of India's fraud classification action against Reliance Communications has zero impact on Reliance Power operations, emphasizing their independence from RCom. Here's my take. SEBI's clearance of LIC's reclassification as a public shareholder in IDBI Bank marks a watershed moment in Indian banking privatization. So here's what I'm wondering, and I'd love your thoughts in the comments. Are we witnessing the beginning of a major consolidation phase across multiple sectors? The sheer number of leadership changes, acquisitions, and regulatory actions happening simultaneously seems beyond coincidental. And that fraud classification against Reliance Communications? Is this the tip of an iceberg or an isolated incident? What's your take on whether these corporate moves signal confidence or desperation in the current market environment?